Most men are invisible online, not because they're untalented, not because they don't have value, but because they're afraid to be seen. And honestly, I understand it because I've been there myself. A lot of men right now are sitting on ideas, businesses, skills, stories, wisdom, but nobody knows who they are because they keep hiding. And in today's world, if nobody knows you, opportunities pass you by. So in this video, I want to talk about why most men never build their personal brand, what's actually stopping them, and how you can finally start putting yourself out there without trying to be fake. Most men are scared of being judged. That's really what it comes down to. Let's talk about imposter syndrome. You're worried about what people from high school might think, what coworkers might say, family members watching your videos, people laughing at your content, and because of that, you keep delaying posting. You overthink every video. You record 20 times. You delete everything. Meanwhile, there are people way less talented than you posting consistently and growing. Most people are too distracted trying to survive their own life to spend that much time judging yours. And even if they do judge you, so what? Let me tell you something. The same people laughing at your consistency today will eventually ask how you did it tomorrow. You cannot build a personal brand while constantly needing approval from people who never built anything themselves. That's the trap. But you keep stopping yourself because you're worried about opinions from other people who aren't even living the life you want. I had to learn this the hard way. Every level of growth requires a version of you to die. That's the quiet version, the hiding version, the version waiting for permission. At some point, you got to decide, am I building my future or protecting people's comfort? Because those two things usually don't happen together. The moment you start elevating, people notice. The moment you start becoming disciplined, people notice. The moment you stop fitting the old version of yourself, people notice. But that doesn't mean stop. That means you're growing. And honestly, a lot of people are secretly inspired by you. They just don't know how to say it yet. That's why I tell men all the time, stop waiting to feel fearless. Courage is moving while your voice shakes. Courage is posting when you're nervous. Courage is speaking even when you don't feel fully ready. Confidence doesn't come first, repetition does. The more you show up, the more you realize nobody can be you better than you. And listen, if God gave you a voice, a vision, a message, or a purpose, why are you hiding it to make other people comfortable? You don't need everybody to understand you. You just need to stop doubting yourself long enough to become who you were supposed to be. Fear of judgment has delayed too many people. Don't let it delay you another year. A lot of people think once I get more money, once I look better, once I have the perfect setup, once my life is together, then I'll start building my brand. But the truth is, you become confident by posting, not before posting. Nobody starts polished. Everybody starts awkward. Everybody starts small. Everybody starts with low views. The problem is most people quit before they even become recognizable. Most successful people started before they felt ready. They started confused. They started broke. They started inconsistent. They started nervous, but they started anyway. You don't become ready first. You become ready through repetition. That's how confidence is built. Not by thinking, not by waiting, not by planning for 6 months, by doing. I had to realize that myself. There were seasons where I kept telling myself, I just need more time. I just need the perfect strategy. I just need better equipment. I just need to get my life together first. But deep down, it was fear. Fear of failing, fear of judgment, fear of looking inexperienced. And the crazy part is, the waiting was hurting me more than the action ever did. Because while I was overthinking, other people were building. While I was doubting myself, other people were learning through experience. And that's when I realized clarity comes from movement, not from standing still. Some of you are praying for confirmation while ignoring the opportunities already in front of you. You already know what you should be doing. You just keep waiting for a feeling that may never come. Listen carefully. You're not going to suddenly feel fully prepared. Growth doesn't work like that. Sometimes God gives you the assignment before the confidence. Sometimes the next level only reveals itself after obedience. That's why you gotta stop treating fear like a stop sign. By the way, if you're a man trying to build confidence, discipline, and your personal brand while working a 9 to 5, that's exactly why I built the Daily Standard community. The problem is when fear becomes your lifestyle, at some point you got to make a decision. Am I going to spend another year hesitating, or am I finally going to just move? Because time keeps moving whether you act on it or not. And I promise you this, you will regret staying comfortable longer than you'll regret trying. One video can change your life. 1 year of consistency can completely transform who you are. But none of it happens while waiting. Start before you feel ready. Perfectionism is one of the biggest lies keeping people stuck because people call it high standards. But a lot of times it's really just fear in disguise. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of looking inexperienced, fear of not getting immediate results. So instead of starting, people keep preparing forever. They overthink the logo, they overthink the caption, they overthink the camera quality, they overthink the business plan, and months go by, sometimes years without real movement. I know because I've struggled with that myself. You convince yourself, I just want it to be right. But deep down, you're scared to release something imperfect. See, the problem is, nothing great starts perfect. No first video was amazing. Nobody's first attempt looked like mastery. Perfection is developed through repetition, not before it. And honestly, perfectionism becomes exhausting because you spend so much time trying to control every detail that you lose momentum. You stop creating, you stop posting, you stop taking risks, and eventually you become creatively paralyzed. That's dangerous, especially for people with purpose, because some of you have ideas that could genuinely help people, but your obsession with perfection keeps your gifts hidden. You keep editing your life instead of living it. Listen carefully. People connect more with authenticity than perfection. That's why some creators with basic cameras still grow. That's why some people with imperfect delivery still impact lives, because people can feel honesty. They can feel when somebody's genuinely trying to grow. And the truth is, most people are not expecting perfection from you. The pressure is coming from your own mind. Some of you are trying to skip the beginner stage entirely. But you got to understand this. There's no growth without being a beginner first. You got to give yourself permission to be in process, to learn quickly, to improve gradually, to make mistakes without quitting. That's real growth. And honestly, some of your best opportunities are hiding behind imperfect action. One imperfect video can change your life. One imperfect decision can open up a new door. But none of that happens if you keep waiting for flawless conditions. I had to realize this myself. Done is better than delayed, because delayed dreams slowly turn into regret. At some point, you got to stop asking, what if it's not perfect? And start asking, what if I never start at all? That question changes everything, because perfectionism can quietly rob your years from your life. Years you could have spent growing, building, improving. And let me tell you something powerful. Your future audience is not looking for a perfect person. They're looking for somebody that's real, somebody that's disciplined, somebody honest enough to grow in front of them. So stop hiding behind preparation. Start creating, start posting, start building, and trust that mastery comes through movement, not perfection.